Okay, what's your names?
Jessica Dole. I'm jaymilee as well. I'm lana.
Great, and just tell me what you've been doing in the Prime Cuts Film Club.
Basically, Jessica wrote a script for us, like a draft copy, and we all kind of improvised in it and actually acting.
Yeah.
And it was called The Innocent Sleepover, and like basically we all got drunk in it, not really obviously. And I played the character who drank too much and I died in it, and it's like a message to like
people out there to not
drink so much.
Not drink so
like
much so quickly.
you think you're all grown up and stuff, but you're not, it's dangerous.
Okay, okay, so Lana, what was your role in it?
My role was the second girl who kind of like one of the best friends of the person who died.
Oh right, and what do you do?
It's like I try and wake her up when she like faints.
She also walks into a wall.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so whose idea was it to start with?
Jess.
Yours, and that's why you wrote it to start with. Okay, great. And so who have you been working with in these sessions?
Leanne.
What about the guy who runs the activity overall, Mark? So have you worked with him before in other projects?
No. I was new when I came to do this film thing.
Right. Oh right. Okay. How did you hear about it?
Well, I just came one day with my friend, and she was supposed to be starring in the movie, but she didn't, because she didn't come after that.
And you just carried on coming?
Yeah, and I just carried on coming because I found it really fun.
Then Lana went and Lana filled in, and then a couple of weeks later, so I showed up quite far into the project. But
right, and then
we only started filming when I came.
Well, because like there was not many people, because we kept swapping all the like actors in it.
Yeah.
Because they kept coming and going, and we didn't know whether we were going to be there for the night.
Can happen.
Well, then me and Lana came, and us three stuck to it, and like we did what we did.
Okay, so after you filmed the scenes and all the shots and everything, I'll go back a step. How did you plan how you were going to do all the different shots? Did you just have the camera in one place and you acted it all out, or
we did
we did one bit, and then we sort of like looked at the angle and like decided where we wanted it, if it did look right.
Right, and then swapped it around. Okay, great. And Lana, what did you get involved in making those decisions as well? Maybe. That's okay. Don't worry, it's fine. And so that sounds great. And so when you'd finished getting all the different angles, what did you do next, Lana?
Well, when we finished all the angles, what we had to try and get, we did the actual filming, and then we put them together basically.
We did all the filming and then I edited it.
Yeah, so it looks like it wouldn't have been like switched to the other corners.
Right. So what editing package did you use?
I'm trying to remember. We used an Apple MacBook.
Right.
It was the what's it called? I think it's like a professional project or something like that.
Premiere, is it?
I
know he's got Premiere on there. Great. And how did you find that? Were you doing most of that?
Yeah, I did the editing because Jess was off ill and Lane was working on another film at the time.
Oh right, okay.
I was working on 3 films.
Oh really? Right, I'll ask you a bit more about that in a second. So how did you find the editing?
Mark showed me like the basics of it, and like Mark showed me the basics of it, but then he had to go off and work with the film that Lana was doing, and I had to figure it out.
Right.
And by the end of it, it seemed pretty easy, and I managed to figure it out, and I edited it all together.
I know he was pretty impressed that you picked it up so quickly, so he told me that. Great. Okay, would you like to do more of that later on as well?
Definitely. I thought that was really, really good.
I think you've either got the kind of mind that can do that, or you haven't. Some people just can't be doing with it, and it's good if you can. Okay, so Lana, what other films were you in?
I was in the kebab one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the kebab shop.
Yeah.
And I was in Jasmine's one where with the animal one, where it's kind of where I basically thought I have hallucinations because I took this pill.
Oh right.
I was supposed to do, and I kind of hallucinated stuff, and then I died in it. So.
Did you die in more than one film? Just the one?
Just the one.
Just the one. You died in another one.
I died in another one.
So they're quite serious topics, aren't they? The films that you've been doing. What did you think about tackling those kind of subjects?
Well, I think they're all like very, very important, and like it's something that needs to be put out there because like teenagers, like people our age, they think that.
I don't think people know enough about what happens because it's like just behind the door and you can be walking outside but you don't know.
Yeah, and there's like peer pressure and stuff. Like your mates might be like drinking vodka and they're like, oh, you're not having any, and then you take some, and then like you could something that like my character ended up like you could die or something.
If someone asks you to actually take a drink of alcohol, you're not exactly being the worst you be. You're trying to be strong, like.
Yeah.
If anything, you're stronger denying it.
Yeah. Definitely. Great. Do you think? Because I know Mark was saying that some of the films he's going to go on to finish making, he wants to be able to show in primary schools, and then he knows that other ones are going to be too serious for primary schools as well. What do you think about that? Bit tailoring the subject matter.
I think it'd be good to show them to primary schools because
they've been taught earlier, and then like say in the future, if the mates tell them to do something, then they can think, well, no, because I know what's going to happen.
What could happen?
And like when they go up into high school, say like year 6 pupils, like when we were in year 6, we thought, oh, we're all big and hard, and then we went into high school, and then we were the babies of the school. So
Yeah. It's a bit of a shock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what each of you can you each say what the most important thing is that you've learned doing this project? Lana, to start with.
What I've learned most is like open my eyes a bit to see all the dangers around it.
Right.
Like to not drink.
Yeah.
Like if I do drink, then I'll probably die or something.
Could just be really ill.
Like if I could give advice to any people, then I would. And
Yeah. What about the skill? Have you learned any skills in the filmmaking and stuff?
I've learned about acting.
Yeah. Cool. You were saying before, it was you who was saying about what I was asking, is it different to act to a camera to acting it on a stage?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, when you're in front of a camera, you're not as shy to like do what you want. Usually I'm quite a confident person, so like for me it's quite okay-ish, but in front of a camera you're not scared because like no one can be there to laugh at you and things.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas if you're in front of everyone, like you've got everyone watching you, and it sort of brings you down a little bit because you're scared that you're going to do something
Scared that
wrong
you're going to do something wrong, or you might fall over, and then everyone can laugh at you, and then you're a complete fool of yourself. So they are, even though they're similar acting-wise, they're still two completely different things because it's the feelings, not the acting, that's different.
Do you think when you're in front of, because you're in a set and everything in front of a camera, do you think you get more, like you can imagine you're really in that situation more?
Because like say if you had like everything out, say if you're like proper, like on a proper set and everything's there, you can sort of like
get into the moment.
Yeah, you can sort of imagine it in your head and sort of like think of what might actually happen, and then you can like, because usually when you see actors and it like comes to a really sad moment and you see them crying, they say like they imagined themselves in that moment and they actually felt what it'd be like, and they actually got there.
Like in front of a crowd you can get distracted very easily by what people are doing,
and it'd be harder to bring that kind of emotion. Interesting. Okay. Jessica, what do you think you've learned from?
I think I've just learnt that you need to trust your own instincts and think further on instead of just thinking like in that moment.
What do they want me to do, kind of thing? Yeah, that's very interesting. Good, it's a good lesson, that I reckon. Great. Okay, well that's a really good interview.